I came to the work wanting to understand, I think, my position in the world. I think I've always kind of felt othered, and so I think the work really aims to kind of explore that. I like to look at the internet and computer systems as a framework for undoing and becoming something new.
When I started learning 3D and CGI and augmented reality, I could transform myself in the ways I've always dreamed of.
Toutes les fois que j'utilise une technologie, il y a une raison profonde, fondamentale. Et c'est toujours un questionnement, une interrogation. J'aime beaucoup travailler avec l'intelligence artificielle, mais effectivement, c'est comme avec un marteau. On peut construire quelque chose, construire une maison ou tuer quelqu'un. Je suis Orlan, je suis une artiste qui n'est pas assujettie à un matériau. J'étudie des phénomènes de société. Pour moi, lorsque je parle d'un phénomène de société et la chirurgie esthétique à l'époque où j'ai fait ma grande série de performances chirurgicales, était vraiment un phénomène de société. Et donc, c'était très important que j'interroge ce phénomène. Et quand j'ai utilisé la chirurgie esthétique, bien sûr, j'ai utilisé le corps, parce que je pense que le corps est politique, que le privé est politique, que tout ce qu'on fait ou ne fait pas est politique.
So the first piece I ever worked on was titled Cult Following, and the text on it said, God is a young hot ebony and she's on the internet. And that, I think, became like the thesis for like my entire work. My name is Qualeasha, and my artistic practice is sort of about recontextualizing the Black femme figure and considering different possibilities for existing throughout time, so past, present, and future. And I do that with the combination of mediums, mainly textiles and photography. As a kid, there was always art around me, like in a weird way. I just think it wasn't traditional. Like, I hated museums as a kid, but I didn't like going to museums because I didn't see anything familiar. Like, I didn't feel like welcomed in those spaces. They're also like really stuffy, you know. The work wasn't representative of anything or anybody I knew. And so a lot of my work is kind of about like rewriting and revisiting histories. And I spend a lot of time, I think, just trying to push those boundaries of what traditionally we think of when we see art and traditionally who we think of when we see art. I kind of look at the work through that lens of if the existence of, you know, a Black queer femme is not ontological and is kind of, as Fans Phenomenal say, like a derelict object, then like what's next?
I'm Ines Alpha. I'm a digital artist based in Paris, and I've specialized in what I've called 3D makeup, which is makeup but using digital softwares. Using those technologies has been very liberating because I could finally have an appearance that wasn't society's expectations.
It reacts to emotions. That's why I'm doing funny faces.
Not that much.
So you really have to be very sad.
In our society, especially when you're a woman, you're more an object for people to judge. And I guess having that control and power back over how I want to show myself and how I want to transform myself helps me become a subject again. Technology gave me a tool that enabled me to have power and control over the versions of myself I wanted to play with.
Je considère que la beauté n'est qu'une question de dictat de l'idéologie dominante. J'ai fait une opération chirurgicale qui n'était pas censée apporter de la beauté, mais de la laideur, de la monstruosité, de l'indésirabilité. Il y a des multitudes de beautés possibles. Mais ce qui est important pour moi, pour une femme, c'est qu'elle soit capable de se faire entendre haut et fort, qu'elle soit cultivée et qu'elle soit capable de vraiment prendre position dans la société. Ça, c'est vraiment la beauté pour moi.
I came into the world imbued with the will to find a meaning in things, my spirit filled with the desire to attain to the source of the world, and then I found that I was an object in the midst of other objects. Sealed into that crushing objecthood, I turned beseechingly to others. Yeah, it's also about that like desire to like feel affirmed through other people, like to relate to other people, to like find sameness, to wonder if anyone else is feeling that way. Community, I think, is really important. And I also think like it kind of even brings me back to that like follower influencer relationship, right? Of looking for the ability to be yourself through someone else. When you think about it, depending on how like well-versed you are in computers and in the internet, you can build anything. I do think that the digital world creates that space for kind of being your own God, making your own image. If anybody can be God, why can't I say that, you know, that it's a Black woman?
Digital tools can give us so much creative freedom. You can build the world, any world you want, and create your own rules. So if you want to defy gravity, no problem. If you want to make tentacle grow on your face, which is what I do, then yeah, you can go for it. I've quoted Donna Haraway, I'd rather be a cyborg than a goddess. So I'd rather be a cyborg, meaning I'd rather use technology to empower myself and to liberate myself from those expectations.
J'aime les personnes qui sont capables aussi d'être pour les identités nomades, mutantes, mouvantes. Les identités fixes ont toujours fait absolument des horreurs avec des communautés très serrées qui se détestent les unes les autres. Donc, soyons nomades, soyons mouvants, soyons libres.